Hello and welcome to another In Focus of American Tackle. Today we're doing inshore fishing, focusing on redfish. We're going to do top water, we're going to do under blind casting, sight fishing. It's going to be a fantastic day. The sunrise is coming up behind me, we're dropping the boat in. Let's get on the water and catch some fish. Austin, have we got far to the spot?
Maybe a mile or two, not too far, but what we're doing is we're cutting across the Mosquito Lagoon and we're heading up a little bit further into the north area where it's maybe a little bit more tide oriented, maybe try to find a little bit cleaner water.
And this is salt water?
Yeah, so this is brackish water,
yeah, okay.
So a little bit of both, and see if we can find some redfish, maybe some trout, some snook. We'll see what we can find.
So a lot of different species on the same style of fishing.
Yeah. So I mean, you can basically, even sometimes you can catch tarpon. There's also black drum this time of year that like to school up. So there are quite a bit of species that we could target.
Exciting.
Yeah, man.
Austin, what a morning.
Gorgeous out here, man. Love this time of day.
I mean, I've fished here a few times before, so I think I know what to expect. But for the guys who are the first time watching this, just tell us a little bit about the Mosquito Lagoon, because it's a pretty special place.
It is. It's very unique in some of its properties. One, it's brackish water. The other thing about it is, especially like where we're at, there's almost basically no tides. I wouldn't say not at all, but you're quite a ways away from the nearest inlet. And so one thing that you'll find is it's not very tide oriented. It's more, weather and moon phase oriented, I would say, as far as like your fishing times. You can fish all day. Some of the real unique things about it, redfish here, one of the few places, I think there might be one or two other places, but one of the few places redfish will spend their entire life without ever having seen the ocean, without ever having gone out to the ocean to
just
spawn.
Live in here?
Yeah. So they'll live their entire life cycle here, and so that's one of the things that makes them pretty unique.
Oh, that mullet?
I couldn't tell if that was a small. No, that's a small trout. Yeah, keep doing that. That was like a 13-inch trout, just playing with it. It was 12 and a half to be exact, but he came up and I took a quick measurement.
So at the moment we're casting these top waters. It's a good time to get them on the surface, you think, Austin?
Yeah, it's perfect time of day, especially right now. Like I'm seeing here on my Garmin, it looks like it's probably maybe around 70, 72 degrees. Oh, there's a fish.
Missed it. Come on.
I'll go ahead and slow us down here. You can cast back out there.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was a small redfish or a decent trout, but yeah, it's just that perfect time of day as the sun's coming up, and it seems like on days especially like this where it's a little bit more, there's not going to be much cloud cover. As you get a little bit further into the morning, they don't want to hit top water as much. If it was a little bit more cloudy, you can even get them in the middle of the day on top water, but this is that perfect time, as we just saw trout and redfish this time of morning.
Yeah, let's see if he wants to come up again.
Yeah.
This inshore fishing is quite demanding, and that demands a really high quality blank. You want a lightweight blank so you're holding it all day long, but you want a blank that can take a lot of pain because you're going to be fishing for very strong fish with finesse style gear. The Bushido range of blanks are absolutely optimal. They are lightweight, they are strong, they are low key. They're a range of numerous models and actions. This particular one here is a Spinjig 7.2 8-15. What I really like about this blank is the reserves of power in the butt. If that fish is screaming off into some mangrove trees, I can put the pressure on it and slow it up. But at the same time, it's got a really nice sensitive tip, so I can twitch the baits home, I can fish top water with it. Basically, it's a really versatile blank. We have them in mag bass, we have them in drop shot, we have them in light salt water, numerous models in the range to suit all sorts of applications. So you, the angler, can try and see what's best for your style of fishing. So Austin, we're fishing with quite light gear, but as I know from previous times, I mean, we are fishing for quite big fish. I mean, how big do the reds run up in here?
So the cool thing about like where we're fishing at is you can see like a, you know, like a 1 pound redfish, you know, a really small one, sometimes even a little bit smaller than that. And then 30 yards down the shoreline, you'll see another one that's like 25 pounds, you know, and, but they actually do get quite a bit bigger. You don't see those really, really big ones back in this real shallow water as much. You'll see the bigger ones maybe out a little bit more in the open. And those you'll see, like sometimes you can see them 40 plus pounds, you know.
Oh, wow.
You know, I've heard of 50s. Personally, I've seen 40 pounders. You know, they get very big out here.
And that's incredible when you see the style of gear we're using. I mean, we're using, you know, light powered rods and thin braid and everything. So it really is it's a sport fishing.
It is. And you're able to do it because this area, you don't have a lot of like barnacles and that kind of thing that you can, a lot of oyster beds. It is a lot of sandy bottom. And so you pretty much just have nothing but room for them to run. You don't have to worry about breaking off as much stuff, especially redfish. They're not like snook where you hook them and they naturally just want to head for structure. The redfish, they just basically, they just head out for open water and they just run. And especially when you've got the boat, you know, we've got people at work like Alex and Jordan. I mean, like on a 8 or 9 weight fly rod, I think they've caught, you know, like 35, 40 pound redfish. You know, you're able to chase them, so.
Well, with the light braid and the microwave guides and the light baits, it makes the fishing really enjoyable and yeah, not lethargic like with big heavy gear all day long. So I enjoy it.
You're doing a lot of casting, like you're throwing a topwater right now. If you're casting a few hundred times in a day, you don't want to be casting a great big heavy rod. You know, you want something with some finesse to it, and like you were saying, as far as like quietness and accuracy being so key in this kind of fishing, that's where the microwaves really shine. You know, having a quiet cast, having a smooth cast, being able to back off, not have the cast like at your 100% cast, and be able to focus on your accuracy and still have a nice long cast like you just did.
And let's not forget one important thing, and the rod that bends always looks great. So this topwater bait here, we're just going to be twitching it back across the surface, and it's going to imitate sort of like a fleeing bait fish, like a small mullet or something like that. It's looking scared when it's maybe come across a predator, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to initiate a bite. So let's keep casting.
That's perfect, like that real kind of erratic, you know, you slow down, you speed up. That is, stop for a second, that's perfect. Yep. Oh, there it is. No, yep. Looks like a little trout. And there we go.
The first fish. There we go. Speckled trout. Now, unlike the trout that we're used to in Europe, these things have got some big gnashes on the front. So you got to be a bit careful because they've got some nasty teeth. Not a massive fish, but really beautiful all the same. And the first bite of the day. Let's slip it back and see if we can get a big one. During today's fishing, I've been using the microwave guides on all the rods built for this inshore fishing. There's a few reasons for this. One is the guides are very lightweight on the tip. With those small running guides, it means the tip recovers even faster than normal guide train. That means I can concentrate on accuracy. The recovery of the blank is increased, meaning it's going to be a lot easier for those long casts with light baits. Not only that, is that I can make sure that I don't have to cast as hard as normal because the microwave guide excels at accuracy and distance, meaning I can pinpoint that bait in the horizon into those little holes where the snook and the redfish might be hiding up. Microwave guides are available in premium titanium or 316 stainless steel with nanolite or duralite centers. We have options ranging from small running guides in the finesse series or the standard running guides, which I'm using today because of the leader knots that I'm having going up through the line. So everything you need for an inshore style fishing. Microwave guides not only look great on the rod, but they perform great. So if you're looking for something that is absolutely going to be working like a tool, I recommend you look at the microwave guides for your next rod build.
Hey Gary, so maybe what we'll do, we've been throwing the top water. It seems like they're maybe not committing to it as much, so maybe what we'll do is we'll switch to like a rattling shrimp, something on the bottom, something that we can do a little bit more blind casting with in some tighter areas. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, sweet.
Check this out. I'm going to show you quickly what we're actually using here, not to miss it. And this is actually one of the American Tackle's own pro staff baits, the rattling shrimp. Looks like a shrimp, it's got a rattle in it. That's where it gets its name. This color here is pretty cool, bleach almond. It's kind of a semi-translucent with a bit of a pearl and like that shrimp pattern over it and some glow eyes. And what we're trying to do is imitate the bait fish that are actually, or the bait that's living in the water here, which is shrimp. We're going to cast it out, twitch it home on the bottom, and hopefully what will happen is the redfish will see this and it's going to look like they've just spooked it, and they're going to nail it. We're going to cast it into the pocket and see if we can catch one. What's really cool about this is, you know, it's a bit like finesse fishing. You're casting in, there's not a lot of weight here, and when you're blind fishing like this, it's all about the feel. You need a rod that's got enough sensitivity so you can feel what's going on, but not too soft that you're not going to work the bait and get control. And more importantly, you need a good hook set, so you've still got to have quite a lot of power in the butt to set the hook and hold on when they scream in the shallow water. Oh, look at the fish, look at the fish there. What's all that? What with all those? There's loads of them in there. Oh, fucking bumped me again. Something bumped it.
Although, Gary, at our 11 o'clock, that's a school of like 3 redfish. All right, Gary, at our 1 o'clock, swimming away from us, there's 1 lone fish.
I see it, I see
okay.
it. Yeah.
All right, so that's good. All right, now reel up, reel up, reel up, reel up, reel up. Left, left, left. You might have to pick up and cast again, but it's a larger fish.
I see it, I see it.
It's at our 12 now.
I see it, it's going away.
Yeah, it's swimming away from us a little bit faster and might have spooked. It's a little bit deeper back in here than that other one. Oh!
We got one on the rattling shrimp.
We've
red.
got a red.
Yeah, it's a baby, but still it's nice.
It.
There we have it. Make it down.
Oh man, you can already see from here just the pretty blue on that tail.
And they're really pretty fish, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, there's a nice bite. He's croaking at me. So, lots of casts for this one. Keep casting right into the bank and twitching it out. We've seen a lot of reds, we've seen some much bigger ones than these. But you know what? It's absolutely fantastic fun on the light gear and twitching these rattling shrimps home. And when they bite, they don't delay, they just absolutely smash it. We'll try and get this bait out. They absolutely smash these rattling shrimps. Perfect bait for these reds. I'm not going to keep them out of the water too much longer. I'm going to let them go home and try and catch one of those big ones I keep seeing. Thank you very much.
Nice strong kickoff.
This place is pretty interesting. I mean, just over there we've got the ocean.
Yeah, just literally 150 yards away.
Yeah, and this little small, spit of land, and then we've got this trapped water system.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is freshwater or?
No, so this is the Mosquito Lagoon. So this is a brackish water estuary, and we're kind of in the mid to upper part of it. And so there is a very small amount of tidal flow because we have an inlet, some miles that direction. But as you go further that direction towards NASA, you have no tidal flow, no really current or anything like that. And it's, like you said, it's landlocked.
So the fish can come in and out?
Oh yeah.
And they come in from the sea?
Yeah.
So you're going to get only fish that want to be in brackish water, or everything's coming in here? Or?
No, so I mean, basically you can have snook, you can have redfish, trout, but then even like some fish that you find typically more on the beach, more like, pompano, even there are some sharks. There's not as many sharks in here, but sharks and larger tarpon, larger redfish will come from the sea because we have an inlet, a few miles from here. But as you go further south, because there's not as much tidal flow, you don't get as many as those fish as we do this further north part of it.
Right. I mean, from what I understood, this isn't man-made, right?
No.
No, this is natural, and
This
it's
is
one of the largest natural landlocked lakes in North America.
Yeah, one of the very few lagoon systems that we have here in the States. I'm not sure, it could very well be the only one, but like I mentioned earlier, it is one of the only places in North America that redfish will spend their entire life without have ever seen the ocean, you know, going
Yeah.
from that big to that big.
And the ecosystem is also very special. I can see that. But you did say that there's been a big change here with the water quality.
Yeah, so the challenge that we've faced the last few years is a massive level of die-off of our seagrass. And so the seagrass is very important because it is the habitat that the redfish, the trout, the snook, that they like to live in. That's the thing that they're used to. It's been here for hundreds, thousands of years, and they're used to it, and that's where they can hide. They can be safe from dolphins and other predators, other larger fish, you know, even some of the sharks.
They need it to survive.
Exactly, and they're very uncomfortable without it.
So the grass has died.
And the reason why that it's died is because we have too many nutrients in our water from a bunch of various different reasons. You know, it could be runoff from someone's yard, you know, fertilizers like phosphates and nutrients, things like that. You know, unfortunately, some of the houses and complexes that are built near the water, what happens is if the septic or the sewage leaks, it unfortunately it ends up in the water. You know, so it is a man-made issue that we're facing, that we're trying to fix. And then on top of that, the seagrass, it doesn't affect the fish as much as manatees. You know, that's their main source of food every day. And
we've lost a few of them here when we've been.
We have, you know, and but typically you will see more, and they're having to find alternative food sources for them because that's their main diet.
Yeah.
And we've lost 85 to 90% of the seagrass here in the lagoon, just probably in the last maybe 8 years or so. It was almost like overnight.
Because I heard that you said there was captains against.
Yeah, so there's different organizations that are working on it. They're trying to fix like the kind of older, outdated sewage septic systems, trying to fix that, trying to keep fertilizers out of people's yards. You know, the people that live within a few miles of the water, just trying to keep the runoff, even just people mowing their lawns and the grass clippings, they end up, and you know, whatever they used in their lawns, it ends up in the water. And so everything kind of runs downhill. And so you have that. You have groups like Captains for Clean Water is a group that helps out with the Everglades down in South Florida and the water issues there. But they're also starting kind of a subgenre that I believe I think it's the Florida Watermen. I'd have to look it up. It's not official yet, but they're working on that. And that's going to be a subset that's going to focus specifically on the lagoon and the issues that we have here, because the issues we have are so unique compared to the rest of the water issues that we experience here in Florida, you know, especially down south.
Well, it's good to hear that there's people taking care of such a fantastic place. I mean, I'm enjoying fishing, and I think it's time to try and go catch a few more, don't you?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Oh, there we go. That might be a snook.
It's a snook.
The way it came up and shook its head
Yeah,
like
it
that.
must be a snook. The way it took as well, it was
And
like
the way it was like right up against those bushes. Yep. Little snook. Gary, we got a slam. And then it seems like you got the drag good and light, because their mouths are so abrasive that they'll
shred the leader.
Yeah, they'll thread the leader.
Yeah,
so
that's
it should
what I
be,
learned from
now
last
that you
time,
got
actually.
you can let them take it a little bit, which you're already doing. Here's a little redfish swimming by us too right now.
Is this the one with the gills that are really sharp?
Yeah, you like don't be afraid to grab them, but they do. They have on the edges of their gills.
Yeah.
It's called a gill plate, and it's
it.
very, very sharp.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, the third species of the day. Check that out. This inshore fishing is really fun. You know, light gear and small fish, it's still really, really fun. And you know, they're loving these shrimps just bounce on the bottom. This is a really cool snook. Not the biggest one, but they fight so hard on the light gear. During my fishing today, I've been using the absolute fantastic Matrix series of blanks. This particular model is the spin jig. Really, really nice fast action, but not too stiff in the tip, which means I get long lunges from the fish's head. It's not going to throw those hooks. The Matrix blanks utilize a 45-degree layup 3K twill in the whole butt section, going up to roughly where the stripper guide goes. That keeps the weight really light in the tip section, but you've got reserves of power down deep with that 3K power transversing up gradually out through the midsection. These blanks are available in numerous actions and powers for all sorts of species and applications. Don't forget the Matrix blanks on your next rod build. You will always find one to suit every angling ability. Oh, yeah, I've got one.
Thank you, sweet baby James. That looks like a nicer one too.
Here we go, we're hooked up. Ooh.
There we go. Yeah, don't be afraid to, there you go.
Blind casting on these rods. Ooh, ooh. This one's angry.
It does look like a nicer fish.
Ooh. Light line.
That's what we like to see.
We don't want to put too much pressure on it. It's super shallow water. They take off like rockets. Super fun. That's why you need these forgiving rods with that can take the, you know, when you strike, you need a rod. If when they make that run, it's going to absorb it so you can get time to set your clutch and everything.
No doubt.
Oh, it is a nice fish. Definitely doesn't want to come in, Austin.
I think for this one, I'll get down, I'll help you land it.
Yeah. Freshwater tactics for saltwater fish. You can't beat it. Very careful, tease them in. We want to show you this one. Come on. Oh, beautiful fish.
Oh yeah, that's a solid fish.
Nearly
right,
done.
Whenever you're ready, baby, come on.
We got her. Look at that.
Look at that.
What a
beautiful
fish, man. We did it.
Yes, sir.
Check that out.
That is a solid fish.
And make a nice croaking noise when you get them as well, just to let you know how angry they are that you caught them.
Got that rattling shrimp right in the corner of its mouth. Got that little bit of blue here. Love that.
They love those rattling shrimps.
Yeah.
That little, you know, rattle noise in the dirty water, it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, because this water, like you said, it's so murky, and I think it really helps them be able to sense the bait. And you know, that fish was only what, probably 10 feet off the front of the boat. It was pretty close.
Even though it's dirty, they got good eyesight, and that's why that Bushido fluoro leader.
Yeah.
To keep everything totally invisible.
No doubt.
So we've admired it for long enough. It's been a hard day, but this has been a definite good ending, I think.
No doubt.
Gonna put this one back now. She fought really hard, so just take her time in the water here. It's the best thing to do when they fought really hard, just like the carp in the UK when I'm back in Europe. Respect all the fish you catch so they can live on for another day.
Thank you, sir.
So man, there we have it. We're out, we're done, but we had a really good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. Took a little bit, but we got some fish.
Fish for 1,000 casts.
Yeah, maybe more.
But we had 3 different species.
Yeah, got some snook, some trout, some redfish. We'll take it.
Yeah, really good. Thanks very much for taking me out, mate. Like I said, really appreciate it. Great place to fish.
Always good to have you in town, man. Like to get you out when you're in town, so.
Appreciate it. Well, there you have it, guys. Another in focus from American Tackle on inshore fishing. I really hope you enjoyed this today as much as I do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and we'll keep trying to bring you as much new material as we can. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.